Alive and well.
And don't go to bed yet, Joel.
Don't go to bed.
Don't go to bed, Joel.
Sorry, we started a little late, but the
That's
magician was
tech
tinkering
issues.
with stuff. I don't know.
There's some tech issues here in the studio. It happens.
It happens, but you know who didn't have any issues tonight? The Arizona Coyotes defeating the Pittsburgh Penguins 5-2 at home. Their first win over the Penguins since 2017.
Wow.
First regulation win against the Penguins since 2015. An absolute unreal accomplishment for this Coyotes team. This is their Goliath, and they slayed the beast.
And you know what? This is one of the most complete games that they've played in a long time. And I thought they had a good win the other night at home, but this was one where I thought for 60 minutes, even though the first period they didn't start off with, hey, we're all over them, but Ingram made the big saves again. And then from that point on, it takes his team a while to get going. But once they got going, this was a really good team effort where I thought top to bottom of the lineup, they played well. They didn't give this one away. They didn't make excessive turnovers. They didn't have defensive zone mistakes. And they were able to get through this a clean 60 minutes. I thought this was a very, very good full team win for a full 60 minutes. And it's a great feeling to beat a team like Pittsburgh that they haven't beaten in a long time before you head out on an incredibly difficult road trip.
Thank you all so much for tuning in to the PHNX Coyotes postgame
1 a.m.
show. Don't forget to hit that like button for the magician. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
He's East Coast Canada.
Leave
right?
us a 5-star review. Yes, I think Newfoundland.
Oh, God, I'm sorry.
I'm Leah here with PD. Craig's calling in for Mullett shortly. Danielle's behind the Mac. We have a super chat from Fernando. A win on my B-Day. Sending love from Fort Worth. Happy birthday, Fernando. And thanks for tuning in from Fort Worth.
That's fantastic.
Excellent.
Birthday wins.
Well, that was a great initial breakdown. There's a lot to talk about in this one. There were some funny moments. There were some good moments. There were some not good moments. But let's start with the numbers presented by Desert Financial Credit Union, Arizona's #1 credit union, named by Forbes. Let's take a look. Shots were pretty even. Penguins outshot the Coyotes 27-26, barely. This is my favorite stat of the night. The Coyotes were 1 for 3 on the power play. And the goal they scored didn't even come from a shot. We'll talk about that in a second. Pittsburgh 0 for 3, which, you know, to stop the Crosby, Malkin, Letang trio is always a success, especially after that game in Pittsburgh where they failed to stop them. Pittsburgh kind of dominated in the faceoffs, but it didn't really matter too much in this one. The Coyotes had 58 shot attempts to the Penguins' 50.
Yeah, you know what? It's another one where they're struggling in the faceoff circle. They've only had a good percentage in the faceoff circle, one of their last 4. I thought other than that stat being a little lopsided, you're right. The key stat for me was their ability to kill penalties, and we talked to Coach Turney today about this team's taking too many penalties. Well, if they continue to kill penalties and can kill penalties like that, I guess that's an okay stat, but you got it. They're going to have to stay out of the penalty box going forward. They're playing some really good teams coming up here. They got to stay out of the box. So that's a huge stat. They were to kill those penalties off. And especially after this one started, what were the shots in the first period after 10 minutes? It was like 5-2 after the first 10 minutes.
3-2.
3-2. 10 minutes in. The shots were 3-2.
Yeah.
And we said it after the last home game. It was a great road period for the home team. Keep the shots down to a minimum. Don't give up any egregious scoring chances against, and just kind of hang on and get into the flow of game that usually takes this team about 10 minutes. So great road period for the home team Coyotes. And if that's the way they have to play at Mullett, instead of when they dropped the puck and they blew the team's doors off the first 10 minutes, now it's just survive the first 10 minutes. I can live with it if they're not giving up those chances and turning the puck over. So again, the first period, not the way you write it up for a home team usually, but they got through, and then they got their legs and they were just moving. I think there were so many good individual efforts tonight. And for the first time in a long time, I can say there weren't a lot of mistakes. And there weren't. This is one of those ones you chalked up the 5-game win streak, Leah. Remember, they're playing mistake-free hockey. I think that's what they did tonight.
Yeah. Wildly Coyote Super Chat said, I drove from New Mexico for the Mullett Magic.
Get out of here.
What a great game to drive in for, Wildly. That's awesome. And then Ren said, as a Pens Yotes fan, I forgot the Dogs winning was legal. Relatable, just saying. Let's not bury the lead on that insane goal.
Yeah.
One of the funniest goals of the year, of ever. Like, how rare
it doesn't
is
happen.
It's so funny because to someone who's maybe not familiar with hockey and you see the team be on a delayed penalty pull their goalie, why are they pulling the goalie? Oh, they get an extra attacker. Well, can't they score? Well, no, because once the other team touches the puck, it's blown dead. It's done. And the only time that it can go in the net is if the team makes a mistake.
Yep.
And has an own goal.
Never happens.
And you never see it.
Never happens.
Never see it. And not only do you never see it, Kris Letang and Evgeni Malkin are future Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
And Kris Letang making a routine pass to Evgeni Malkin, who just misses it. And we get an own goal. Lawson Crouse, the easiest goal of his career, does nothing, gets his 18th. The Coyotes score a goal on a power play that they had zero shots on.
Don't touch the puck.
One goal on 0 shots?
Fantastic. That's a great percentage.
That's a real stat tonight.
Great percentage.
What?
Great percentage.
That was so funny. And
yeah, and like you said, it's
the internet
really good players.
roasting. Like, I'm sorry. I have a soft spot for the Penguins, but like, man, watching them get roasted online was funny tonight. The internet was a beautiful place. That was just hilarious.
Yeah, it's something you don't see. I honestly, it's been a decade since I've seen that happen. You just don't see it happen. And to two unbelievably, the Mullett, that's Mullett magic. That is. And the game that just turned it, like their whatever momentum that team could have gained from a power play that they got with Zucker going to the penalty box, it was done. Game was over. That was it. They just wanted to pack up and go home. Like if they could have, they would have left. Because you can't recover.
So embarrassing.
You can't recover from that.
It's so embarrassing.
I never felt like Pittsburgh owns this team, and I tell you what, when you get the Sidney Crosby breakaway against Connor Ingram, you go, we're going to do it all over again. And Ingram with a huge save that's able to save this game early. Like I think Connor Ingram has really found his groove, and I know this wasn't one where he had to be all world. But whenever he had to face a real difficult shot, he made the big save. They've found something in Connor Ingram. This kid just continues to impress and calm things down. He's going to have to be outstanding in this upcoming road trip.
Charles said the Yotes finally get a goal with the opponent's net empty. That's true. Yeah, and Nicholas said, finally a blooper goal that goes our way. Finally. It's so true. It's so fun to be part of the highlight, but not be the one that's messing up. Like, it's just so satisfying.
It is.
I can't stop talking about it. It's just so funny.
It's fun.
But there's plenty more to talk about, obviously. You mentioned Ingram already, but let's give some flowers to Jason Zucker, who, he's been a little bit quieter as of late, but facing his former team, gets a goal and an assist. That first goal, what a pass from Logan Cooley on that.
Unbelievable. Yeah, you talk about, I know, I read it in our members-only Discord where they're saying, was that intentional? I mean, he intentionally swats the puck. He wasn't trying to go tape to tape. He just knew he had to get it to that area. The one thing with Logan Cooley making that play, he won the foot race, and that's an intimidating foot race because you can go, like we're talking, you're gonna have to have physical contact going into the boards, and he was fearless going in there. Wins the foot race, makes a great play to the front of the net, and Zucker is able to finish it off by beating his man to the net, and it showed that Coyote speed. It's a really, really good play by Logan Cooley. I'm telling you. It's the little things like that you start to recognize how good of a player he is going to be in this league. But Jason Zucker, since his injury, I think he's kind of floundered a little bit. Yeah. He's having a hard time getting back into it. I thought tonight this is the best game he's played in a while. And it's not just the points, but you really felt he had his feet moving today. Yeah,
absolutely. And it's funny because that goal, both Pittsburgh connections, Zucker against his former team. Awesome. Cooley, obviously a Pittsburgh native. And then Jason Zucker picks up an assist later in the game as well on the Kerfoot goal. And for that reason, Jason Zucker is our desert dog in him tonight with his goal and assist and a lot of the intangibles as well. So congrats to Jason Zucker. And as the thumbnail says, Zuck yeah.
Zuck yeah. You've got that desert dog. You know what I decided, Leah?
What?
I decided we need our producer Danielle to do more work.
Oh.
And I think the desert dog in him needs a sounder.
Ooh. Maybe like a
Yep. That's it. And so
next show.
So you're reading when you're reading the name in the
yeah, I like it.
Okay. See all that creative stuff. Am I done for the night?
Yeah, that's it. All right, sit back and relax.
No, but this was a huge game for this team. They're going against a team that they've struggled against. I don't know for some reason, even after that win against Nashville, I still felt that there was this little vibe of there was just something. I don't know if it's because Schmaltz is still injured and you kind of expected him back by now. And then Stetcher goes down for an extended period of time that nobody knew what was going on. And you just kind of had this, I don't want to say a negative taste still from the Calgary loss maybe. And so this was a tough one. And I was worried about going on this road trip. They leave early tomorrow morning and they have tough teams and they just pulled it together. And it was someone mentioned in the chat, it's the first time in 4 games where Liam O'Brien didn't take a penalty.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a stat. Thank you.
So keeping him out of the box, it's important.
And he had an assist.
Yeah,
he was actually
assist.
crucial in setting up that play.
That's a great backhand pass, by the way.
Yeah.
So I'm just pleased to see that so many people had a part in this win and so many things. And we talked about Gunther. What did Gunther's stat line end up being? He was +1, 15 minutes, 1 shot again. He wasn't effective with his shot, which you need him to be. But I thought tonight, I've been hard on him over the last 2 games where I didn't think he was as noticeable. I thought you noticed him again tonight with that speed. And again, when he gets his feet moving, Dylan Gunther is a factor in the game. And I thought Gunther and Cooley, again, had that little bit of chemistry. And so it was exciting to see that. I think there were so many things that went positive. And you look early in the game, first minute into the game where Keller takes a puck to the nose and leaves. And
I was thinking, oh God, no.
Like this,
Yeah.
After I think after that, and you look at his nose, I don't know if he broke it. He may have. He struggled for his next 2 or 3 shifts.
Can you imagine trying to work after getting
what do you think?
something in the nose?
I'm taking a month off.
Yeah.
Buddy. And I just sit here behind him. I'm not coming in today. I broke my
laying
nose.
in bed. Oh, please.
Exactly.
I need my tea.
Buddy.
I can't move.
I'm not making coffee. My wife's doing that. So,
that's why you're asking.
That's right. And he came after that 2 or 3 shifts. I go, oh, he's not in it. He was making puck errors. He wasn't making crisp passes. And then all of a sudden, it just clicked for him again. Yeah. And again, I thought he was outstanding tonight. When Keller's feet are moving, he's getting pucks and people towards the net. He's incredibly effective. And I'll bring up one play that it's the Valimaki goal. And I know we're going to talk about Valimaki's goal.
Well, yeah, because Connor said so happy for Valimaki getting his first goal of the season.
After sitting out so much and finally get into the lineup. And that play, it's called a give and go with a D go through, which means the D is at the blue line. Keller passes to Valimaki. Valimaki back to Keller. And as soon as he passes it, Valimaki goes through the middle. Keller climbs up the wall and gives him back to Valimaki. Well, Valimaki, when he dove, the Pittsburgh defender didn't stay with him, so that's how he's wide open. But Keller making that pass, it was so efficient. It was through 2 sticks, and it was tape to tape. It was a beautiful play by Clayton Keller. But the third piece of that I wanted to point out, if you get a chance to see it again on Twitter or YouTube on the Valimaki goal, is watch what Sean Durzi does. And Sean Durzi's on the left point there when Valimaki goes through. And one of the things this team has done when Keller continues to climb up closer to the blue line, you'll see the second defenseman dive down. And I've been complaining about that. Mm-hmm. That high ice, not keeping a defenseman at the blue line. Sean Durzi stays and drifts toward the middle of the ice. And I was so grateful. Just in case there's a turnover, there is a defenseman at the high blue line ready to defend. And this team hasn't done that. I know it's a tiny detail. Actually, it didn't happen. Like the turnover didn't happen. But to see that there is a thought process of, gosh, we need to have a defenseman back here just in case, made me feel all warm inside. So I was incredibly happy that they're going to defend the blue line. And then, to cap it all off, it ends up with a goal, and a goal for a player that desperately needs it.
Yeah, Valimaki's first game since January 7th, his first goal of the season, his first goal in 37 games played. It was, I believe, March 2023, the last time he scored. So that had to feel good. I mean, obviously, you don't want to see a player like Troy Stetcher go down, but Bear opted to still go with 11-7 tonight. Valimaki back in finally and gets on the score sheet. So that's got to feel good. You can kind of see it in his face and his celebration, you know, the relief, probably just the overwhelming joy of finally getting that done. So,
and against his old team too. And did you see it? I don't know if you noticed this in the third period. He kind of had a little shoving match with Letang. Letang checked him into the boards, and it was while the play was going on. And as the play broke up, they were going towards the bench. At first, I thought they were like, "Hey, buddy, that was really funny." But then you look again at their faces and you're like, I don't know if they're buddy-buddy. I kind of think that this might be a little bit serious. So I'm wondering if Zucker threw a few lines at him that kind of, like, those guys incredibly close. You're personal friends with them that dug deep because Letang did not look happy. So it's good to see Zucker get that kind of fire against his old team.
Because Altex is here in the chat, we have to give flowers to Alex Kerfoot, his 7th of the season. He's a guy who gets in front of the net and good things happen, which is exactly what happened tonight. And as Altex says, Kerfoot is now 1 goal away from quadrupling Zach Cassian's Coyotes goal record.
He had 2. Zach Cassian with 2.
And by the way, Altex tweeted at us earlier, we need a Kerfy goal tonight. Asking you shall receive, Altex. So you have to start tweeting that every game day for Kerfoot to pick that up. Also, you're the man from Minnesota himself.
Yeah.
Nick Bjugstad, his 10th of the season.
Beautiful goal by Nick Bjugstad.
Yeah. O'Brien and McBain on that play. So you mentioned every single player, every single line, every single situation, playing into this one, including the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Lawson Crouse goal. And again, that's why I think this was an incredible team effort. And everybody chipped in. And the other thing I'm going to continue to harp on is when this team gets to the net, they're dangerous around the blue paint. And you look at the Zucker to Kerfoot, that play, Kerfoot's in the blue paint. You look at the pass and Zucker's goal, he's in the blue paint. You got Bjugstad all alone. This team, when they can get into the inside and get scoring chances from in the slot area, they're a dangerous team.
Yep, absolutely. All right, well, as we get ready to bring Craig in, I will remind everybody. I was talking about illegal Pete's the other day, just because saying it's just so freaking good. Oh my gosh. I would like the queso. I dream about it. And honestly, like,
I need it.
Oh, I dream about it. It's so good. Illegal Pete's, if you've never been on Mill Ave, great spot for before a game. You can walk to the arena or just jump on the light rail or Uber or drive.
Or just stay on Mill.
Yeah, or just stay on Mill. It's so good. The bowls, the burritos, tacos. It's just go. I promise you, everyone I've made go thanks me because can I that good.
Give some advice?
Yes.
So if someone orders a Mexican candy shot, which is fine.
Oh, it's spicy.
But it's fine. But don't be fooled that the Mexican candy is like sugary candy around the outside of the rim. It's actually, what is it? Is it tahini?
Yes.
It's tahini.
Yeah.
So it's got a little kick to it.
Yeah, but it's very
And
good.
I was thinking Mexican candy, it's going to be sweet. It wasn't sweet.
Yeah.
Just be warned.
Yeah, welcome to Mexican candy, Petey.
Didn't know.
Yeah.
Didn't know.
Well, check out all the
the
weekly deals at Illegal Pete's. You can kick the Monday blues with $3 margaritas all day long, or ease your way back into the week with $2 tacos every Tuesday. And if you work in healthcare or education, take your team to lunch at Illegal Pete's every Tuesday and enjoy buy one get one free entrees. And don't forget to unwind after a long day at their happy hour, 3 to 8 p.m. every day. Is there a better happy hour in the Valley?
There isn't.
No, there's not. Illegal Pete's, your go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beer.
And for all the money you saved at happy hour, make sure you put that into your Desert Financial Credit Union account. For more than 84 years, Desert Financial has been Arizona's largest, most trusted local credit union. Look to Desert Financial, not just for your checking and savings account, but for your mortgages, loans, credit cards, investment options, and so much more. Join a credit union that is committed to giving back to the community and sharing success with its members. If it's good enough for Craig, it's probably too good for you. When you open a free checking account online, get $200 in bonuses. Get started by visiting desertfinancial.com/200.
Well, speaking of the man it's too good for.
It is him.
No, it's not too good for. He's too good for it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Let's bring him in. It's Desert Financial Credit Union's best client.
By the way, the suit is one and done.
Yeah. After Connor Ingram roasted him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how could I wear it after that? I felt embarrassed. I felt humiliated.
Yeah. The wide lapels, the flare pants at the bottom. I don't know what the problem with it. I don't understand it. A wide tie.
I gotta wonder too, Petey. From a member of the goalie guild, no less. It was pretty surprising to be taken down.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to respect other goaltenders in the union, and you still carry a union card. So that's uncalled for by goaltender Connor Ingram.
All right, man. I gotta ask a favor here before you even start. Have we reached the requisite likes yet?
You know what? Sure. Do you want to see the magician?
I kind of want to see what the magician's got in store right away.
All right. Let's see.
I need the vibes.
Craig,
I need the vibes.
Worried.
Craig, he was tinkering with the electronics, trying to delay. He was delaying our show because he was really stressed about perfecting his trick. So let's see what he has in store.
I am so concerned.
The Coyotes win again at home. Time for more magic. We take the paper. It's just a plain piece of paper with a cup on it. And then we go to the empty cup and we see that there's nothing in the cup. We set it down and we go over to the magic taps. And we get to get the kilt lifter. Oh, we got to get the kilt lifter. We turn it on and we get more beer. There's the beer. The beer is coming in. And then we take the empty cup and boo-hoo! We got the beer kilt lifter for everyone. It's a magic.
I gotta say, the second half of that trick was impressive. I have no idea where the bear came from, but I was a little troubled that the mullet was grasping for the word paper for so long.
Oh, I mean, now I see why he was trying to stall the start of the show. It wasn't his best work. I mean, he really went all out with the straw trick, and it's just been downhill.
Yeah, I think it was downhill from the straw trick. The straw trick was so impressive. I'm not.
Also, he simply gave up on the game. He just goes, "It's a match."
Yeah, he just quit.
Right.
He just wanted
I
to
don't
get out.
know.
That was,
I don't know. The cup was half full at the end of the trick. So
yeah.
He's practically
take it.
Jesus. He made beer out of
There was
nothing.
free. All I know is there was free beer in the cup at the end of the trick, and
Yeah.
any trick that comes with free beer at the end of it is a good magic trick. I don't care what
Agreed.
anybody says.
Agreed.
I'm with you on that one,
my
magician.
God. All right. Well, we're all in a good mood now.
One more thing about that. The key word here would be practice.
Yeah.
Practice. Practice. 17 times to learn something, 10,000 hours to perfect it. That was once. And it showed. That's all we'll say.
All right. Well, Craig, I know you have some updates from Postgame tonight. If you care to.
Yeah, a couple of them. First off, no update actually on Matt Dumba, who left the game. I think you guys may have seen it when he crashed into the boards. I think that's when he left the game. I'm not
He didn't
sure
leave
yet.
the game after that. Actually, he played another shift or two after that. But
So he must have tested it and it wasn't okay.
Because he skated the last shift he played. He was up and down the ice twice. He looked fine, but it was that time on the penalty kill where he went on the 2-on-1 rush. He slipped and went into the end boards, and that had to have been because we couldn't find anything. We went back and watched after that, but you may be right.
Yeah, they're leaving at 9 a.m. tomorrow, so there's not even availability. So we'll try and get an update on that. The good news, though, is that Nick Schmaltz is going to travel on this trip, and Andre said after the game he's very close. It sounds like if he's not back Wednesday, he'll be back Thursday. He may even be back Wednesday for this trip, this very, very important 3-game trip. So that's good news.
Yeah. What else was said in postgame? Who'd you
Well,
talk
we
to?
got we talked to Juuso Välimäki and Jason Zucker, two very key players tonight. Jason Zucker was really hard on himself, if you guys remember, after that Calgary loss a few games ago. And Andre said since then, one of the things that Zuck said to me, he didn't say it so much in that interview, but he's talked about not making enough of an impact. Andre said he's made an impact since that game. Since that Calgary game, he's really liked the way he's played. And then tonight, you saw it, obviously, in spades against his former team, which he still admits, even though it's been a while, you go through the league after a while, maybe those things don't mean as much to you. He still admits it adds a little juice when you play your former team, and he had it tonight. He was a key contributor for them in the lineup tonight.
Yeah, he was actually our dog tonight. It felt like not just in the goal and the assists, but in just his overall play as well. And also, I think the eyes he gave Logan Cooley in the goal celebration alone was worth the title
of Craig at the draft table this year. Well, Michael Hrabel. Craig kind of had that. If you remember that picture of Craig just lovingly looking up from the podium.
Well, no, this was what all of our faces when the Coyotes drafted Dimitri overall.
Exactly.
I like Välimäki's game tonight as well. More of an assertive. The goal with Clayton Keller was gorgeous. That was a beautiful give and go. But I just thought he was more assertive, and they're going to need him now. Obviously, Troy Stetcher's out of the lineup. I don't know what's going to go on with Matt Dumba, so they're going to need Juuso to contribute. I don't want to give too much of this away because I talked to him a little bit after the scrum had ended, and I'm going to have something in a notebook on him tomorrow. But it's been an ongoing conversation between he and Andre Tourigny about what he needs to do to contribute to this team and be a regular in the lineup. I don't think there's any doubt in Andre Tourigny's mind that he can be that guy. He just wanted to see some things from him that he wasn't necessarily seeing over that last stretch, where he eventually sat him down for a significant amount of time, about 10 days.
And one of the things when you sit out that significant amount of time, because he did miss a lot of games, you come back you can either come back with a little bit of fire and prove the coach wrong, or you can pout and struggle. And I thought he did the former. I thought he was really good tonight. I thought he skated really well. I thought he moved the puck well. He didn't cause me any concern on the backhand. He ended up with just over 16 minutes of ice time and a +1. I think that's a really solid game, especially after you're talking about losing Dumba and they went down to 6. So you knew that they couldn't spell any of the ice time. He was going to have to play throughout that game. So I think that gives them confidence going into this road trip. You do wonder where that puts Josh Brown in this upcoming road trip, because now they're sitting with, if Dumba's out for any length of time, and he may not be, but Stetcher, it clearly is. You've got potentially 6.
Well, just like the Penguins scored an own goal, Josh Brown didn't kind of made it easy for the Penguins on that first goal.
Was he trying to take out his goalie?
That was
a rough sequence, starting with his puck management in the neutral zone. I mean, he turns
it over to start it. Oh,
yeah.
It just felt bad for him. It's like everything he did, he couldn't have made it worse for himself on that play.
Yes. But Andre pointed that out. He did mention that he had that rough stretch in that second period, but he thought he played well in the first and the third. And he got more minutes tonight. Obviously, Dumba goes out of the lineup. He got more minutes. That's part of what makes this situation so hard for Josh Brown, is you get such limited minutes. It's really hard to get into any kind of rhythm and have any kind of impact. I'll talk about that as well in the notebook tomorrow. I wanted to talk about one other player who had a really big impact for the Coyotes tonight, and that was Kris Letang, who had 2 primary assists for the Coyotes.
Wow.
I mean, there was the Logan Cooley pass that he batted down right onto Jason Zucker's stick, and then there was the errant pass that he sent to Evgeni Malkin that Malkin put in the net. So that was a big contribution from Kris Letang.
A big night for Kris Letang, 24 minutes and 1 shot on goal and 2 assists for the Coyotes.
And Kris Letang, you are the desert dog.
After that, Craig, I don't know if you saw his face, but he couldn't leave Tempe soon enough. It was like, let's go. Let's just leave. A tough night. That's too bad he had a tough night against Coyotes. I feel really bad for Kris Letang.
He's a legend.
He is a legend.
He'll be fine.
Absolute legend. He'll be fine.
Craig, we already mentioned Connor Ingram and that he was solid tonight, especially stopping that breakaway goal by Sidney Crosby. And by the way, the actual Sidney Crosby goal, that angle was so ridiculous. We even watched it back. Who messed up here?
Yeah.
It's nobody messed up. Sidney Crosby is just Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, he just did Sidney Crosby-like things.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Dermott couldn't have covered him better. Dermott's there. His stick's on stick. Dermott, I don't know what else you want him to do. It honestly is one of the best goal scorers in the game, making an exceptional play at 36 years of age. It's absolutely
What can
impressive.
you do? What
It's
can you
impressive.
do? Yeah.
But anywho, Connor Ingram solid again tonight. He's now started. I mean,
it's 5 in a row.
5 times in a row. What's the plan?
I gotta believe, and Andre alluded to this, that he's going to get 2 of the 3 games on this trip. I'm guessing he's going to start the first one. There's a back-to-back, so you're going to have to play Vejmelka, and then I would assume that Connor Ingram comes back for the Carolina game. They got to listen. We know their situation. They're only 2 points back now, so it's a lot better than we worried it might be just a few games ago. But you can't go into a tailspin on this road trip. It still feels like they have a little bit of making up to do for that 1-4 homestand, just a little bit more to dig out of that. And it would be an unbelievable feeling for this team if it has another good road trip, even like the road trip that they just had. If they get 3 points on this road trip, you're probably happy with that road trip. And then you go into the All-Star break thinking, yeah, we're still in this. We're still very much in this playoff hunt.
Yeah, this was a crucial win tonight, not just for the Coyotes and advancing in the standings, but because Nashville lost. And the Coyotes actually tonight passed Nashville in points percentage, not in the standings in terms of points, but just in winning percentage. The Coyotes now are 5-4-4 and Nashville's 5-4-3. So, I mean, you got to take advantage. It's still an extremely tight race there in the West. But
Mhm.
I mean, if the Coyotes can string a couple more wins together here, and Nashville, can you talk about Nashville's road trip, by the way?
Well, yeah, and this is what I find
This is
interesting,
like a
Craig.
Coyotes road
So the
trip.
Coyotes are going to do a really difficult road trip. There's no doubt about it. They're going to the East Coast, Tampa, Florida, and Carolina. We just talked about that. The Nashville Predators. And Craig, you know your geography. You're the smartest guy in our office. Here's their road trip. They start in Minnesota, play the Minnesota Wild on the 25th. That's Tuesday. Minnesota is in the middle of the country. Fine. 2 days later, they play the Edmonton Oilers in Edmonton, which is the far west in Canada, crossing a border.
And north.
2 days later, to finish off the 3-game road trip, they play in Ottawa. Minnesota to Edmonton to Ottawa.
What
the 25th,
in the Arizona
27th,
Coyotes?
the 29th in Ottawa. Like, what in the hell is that? Before returning home and playing the Kings right before the All-Star break. So they have 4 games to the Coyotes, 3 games before the break. But that is a horrific road trip. And Ottawa, you think, oh, that's a win, but that's at the end of that road trip. And that's, oh my God. So no favors for Nashville. And so you look at Nashville, that's going to be a really hard road trip. And another team to keep your eye on that I can't believe we're even talking about is the LA Kings.
Wow.
Yeah, they're really sliding. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I know they got to win the other night, but they have not been playing good hockey lately. And
2 wins in 10. The coach got the vote of confidence.
When they played the Coyotes, those 3 games, I looked at that team and I was like, okay, I was so wrong. This is a legitimate cup contender, and now I don't know. They're scratching and clawing to try and make it into the playoff picture.
It is, and I thought for sure they were buckled in for that 3rd spot pretty good, but then Edmonton Oilers come out of nowhere and they've really struggled. And I don't know if they don't find their rhythm soon. The Coyotes honestly could be breathing down the Kings' necks, and now you got to throw them into this mix with Calgary and Seattle because Edmonton's gone. Like Edmonton freight trained and they're gone.
Yeah.
So I think
lose again.
they blew right by them. They may never lose another game. They might not on the way to the Stanley Cup.
Until the playoffs.
Yeah. So it is.
They have the Corey Perry curse of losing in the Stanley Cup final.
We'll talk about that later in the week. Not today. But they're at their 1-4 homestand. I said this team is out of it. They're going to slide and they're going to disappear. And again, they're not.
No, they don't quit.
And so there's 3 games. The All-Star break is a huge demarcation in this season on all of these teams. Where's Nashville? Where's LA? And then we're going to talk more Seattle and Calgary later in the show. But there are, if they can come out of this trip with 3 points, they just need to come out of it with 3 points. Those are 3 tough cities, tough road trip. They need 3 points.
Leah, did you hear the word?
I know. You like that
demarcation?
Demarcation.
Every show.
I think
everything.
Petey needs to work with a magician who is still struggling with the word paper.
I know.
The magician.
Yeah.
The magician was real.
Can
on
we
the
delete
struggle.
that from the show? Is that got it? Do we have to do that one?
Oh my gosh. I know Danielle has something for the magician. What is I'm trying my best.
That's actually pretty funny. That's actually pretty funny. Danielle comes through again.
So funny. Oh man. All right. Well, we keep mentioning the road trip, so let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. It's actually not that detailed because it's just the same 3 games we've been talking about. The Panthers, Lightning, and Hurricanes in a row, and then a week off for mostly everyone except for Clayton Keller, who's headed to Toronto for the All-Star game.
You.
And me, but that will be a nice break. But as you mentioned, a crucial 3 games ahead on that really tough swing. The Coyotes already lost to Florida this season. You know, it's going to be tough. And Nashville lost to Florida tonight. So
yep,
we'll see how that goes. Craig, you got anything else before we let you go?
Just one thing, wanted to let everyone know that Petey and I will be talking to former Coyote, former Panther, and former Canuck Ed Jovanovski in the morning for an audio-only edition of the PHNX Coyotes podcast. Always good talking to Jovo. Really looking forward to that.
And those are fun, by the way. I don't know what it is. They're just because I don't know if I don't have to put all my makeup on because it's not on camera. It's more relaxed. They're fun. So if you haven't been downloading our audio-only podcast, please
make sure you subscribe
and download the podcast because it's a nice, easy listen, and they're a lot of fun.
Yeah. Buddy, I gotta send you my filters. I mean, look at this.
I
got a little aura around me, and there's like no lines on my face at all.
You do have a good glow going, Craig.
Once again, thanking Carrie Lake for these filter sections.
Yes, thanks, Carrie. You look fantastic.
Oh Oh boy. All right, Craig. Well, we'll let you go and looking forward to hearing from Jovo tomorrow.
All right, guys. We'll see you.
All right. Bye, Craig.
What's funny is the Coyotes play Sunday, right? Or Saturday is their last game. There are teams that play on Wednesday. Like there's games Sunday, Monday, Tuesday,
I think
Wednesday.
those teams might have
play
like,
after.
They have
your
time
bye week
off.
before or your bye week after. I thought it was that there were no games all week, but it's the before or after thing.
So at least Keller gets like a few days off before he has to go to Toronto.
So his is before. I think everybody'd rather have it after.
Yeah.
Because when you look at the schedule, I talked to people there today, they don't get a weekend.
Oh, that's
they'll be back on the ice practicing on Sunday. Anyway, sorry.
That's tough. Anywho, Petey, you won a lot of money today.
I had a good day.
What were your bets?
I took the over.
You tweeted them and people followed.
I tweeted him. So when you tweet them, you have receipts.
Yeah.
I had Crosby because he always scores. Malkin because he always gets points. And I did the over. And you know why I took the over?
Why?
Because these teams both have 3 straight games of unders.
Oh.
3 straight. Coyotes have never gone 4 straight games with the under all season. And the Pittsburgh's only done it once. So I said it's not going to be tonight.
Ooh.
So I took the over and I took Clayton Keller anytime goal scorer. So I was 4 for 4. When you're 4 for 4, and you can ask our locksmith Shane Diefenbach.
Clayton Keller did not score.
Oh, he didn't though.
No,
3 for 4.
Yeah.
Why did I think he scored?
Because at first it looked like he got credited for the goal on the mishap. But 3 for 4 is still amazing.
3 for 4 is still good in Vegas, and check with the locksmith. So anyway, it was a really good day.
That's awesome.
And it was fun. It gave you a little skin on the game.
Yeah, very
it's
true.
more fun when you have skin on the game.
And somebody tweeted at you that they tailed you and they won some money. So there you go. And it's so easy to do it. Petey can do it. And DraftKings makes it especially easy when you bet on the NHL. There's just so much there. It's so fun. If you've never just looked around at all the different bets,
they're fun.
In a single game, it's not just money line, puck line, over, under. There's player props. There's period by period. Like, it's just so fun. So go explore, place a bet. It can be a weenie bet. It can be $1, it can be $3. It doesn't have to be anything major, but make sure you download the DraftKings Sportsbook app with the code PHNX, and new customers can bet just $5 on the NHL and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. That's only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code PHNX. The crown is yours. I have to clear my throat for this.
There you go. Good luck.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/hockey for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. NHL and the NHL Shield are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. Copyright NHL 2024. All rights reserved.
And keep the fun going at Gila Rivers Resort and Casinos. Their state-of-the-art gaming floor has it all with over 800 slot machines, 15 blackjack tables, and live table games. And did you know this? They have Arizona's largest casino sportsbook, which we all enjoy, obviously. The dining ranges from upscale, which is totally Craig, to casual, which is totally me. Check out their rooftop restaurant, Prime A Shula Steakhouse, or check out the new Honey and Vine, the new dining experience at the all-new Santan Mountain.
For those East Valley folks.
At East Valley, head up to Santan and check out that. And whatever you do, make sure you do you at Gila River Resort and Casinos. Visit play@gila.com for more details.
Love it. Well, by the way, Ethan, I'm so glad that we could turn your day around. So, and the magician too.
Yeah,
played a role.
We're not talking about that anymore.
But Ethan brought it up.
Oh, did he? Oh.
Yeah. The empty netter, the Postgame show, the magician. So Ethan,
I guess
I'm really
it brings
glad.
a smile to someone's face. Then it's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I know you want to look at some of the schedules of the other teams.
I do.
So what do you got for us?
Well, it's funny. We already talked about the horrific schedule that Nashville has, and I think Arizona's is equally difficult. The problem is when you start to look at some of these other teams, when you go and look at Calgary, who has been rising in the standings, their games before the break, they play St. Louis, Columbus, and Chicago all at home. And those are 3 very winnable games.
Yeah.
And surprisingly enough, Seattle plays the exact same teams.
Really?
Chicago, St. Louis, and Columbus.
Ooh.
So they both have the exact same teams in different order, all of them at home. I'm very concerned about what Seattle and Calgary could look like by the All-Star break versus what Nashville and Arizona have, two very difficult schedules versus two very easy schedules. Now, as we know, the hockey gods often do, the Coyotes and Nashville will be in the wild card, and Calgary and St. Louis will not be.
Okay. I like that.
Because that's how things go.
Yeah.
Because they're looking at the schedule the same as us going, oh my God, we have Chicago, St. Louis, and Columbus, 3 winnable games. We're going to be in.
Yeah. And also every time we look at the Coyote schedule, we're like, oh, this game's going to be impossible. They win.
No chance, and they win.
And by the way, Nikita Kucherov, if you're here in the chat, Coyotes are coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Get ready.
Coming for you, Nikita. Yeah.
They're coming.
Can't handle the Yotes.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, post-game, Craig had the opportunity to chat with Zucker and Valimaki, as he said. So let's start by hearing from our desert dog, Jason Zucker.
A few games ago, you were pretty critical of yourself for what you had done. I think it was the Calgary game. It has to feel good to flip the script and contribute so much like you did, especially against a former team.
Yeah, I mean, this was a huge game for us. Obviously, coming off the win versus Nashville, it was we wanted to follow that up and have a big game. You know, these games are huge for us in this playoff race heading into the bye week. So we got to make sure we stay dialed in, and tonight was a great step in that direction.
Yeah, I mean, he.
It's a step in the right direction for him, and he needs that. He's a guy that I don't think they're looking for him to drive the bus, but he's got to be on the bus. And that means he's got to be doing the right things. He's got to play the right way. He's not a guy that's going to lead this team in scoring, but he's going to be the secondary scoring guy that plays the right way. And I thought he did that tonight on both ends of the ice. And that's the Jason Zucker they need. And they thought they were going to get from day one. And I know he got off to a little slow start, then he gets hurt. And then coming back from the injury, he struggled a little bit. I thought he was outstanding.
Yeah, and we've also heard that he's plays a big role in the leadership of the locker room as
very
well.
Well liked.
And I think that especially with some of the young guys on the team, to lead by example on the ice is really beneficial. And I like that he took responsibility for the play in the game against Calgary, and now he plays a great game tonight and should take the credit.
And it's funny though. You look at the role players they have as the veteran guys, and even Kerfoot and Dumba and Bjugstad. I think they understand that leadership role, and you go to the veteran players, and we'll just say call it like it is. In Pittsburgh Penguins, their veteran leaders are Crosby, Malkin, Gensel. Well, not even Gensel so much, but Letang, and those guys have won cups, and there's different egos there, and I don't know if they're still in charge. And I think the veterans here are the guys, they understand their role. They understand what they're trying to do, and they do it more of a team effort. Does that make sense? Like it's #1pack more here with those veteran leaders. Then you're going to see a team that's veteran laden with the guys that are still the ones leading the scoring races and getting all the ice time. So I think a guy like Zucker is imperative for this team moving forward.
Absolutely. And another guy we talked about, Juuso Välimäki, getting in the lineup for the first time in a couple weeks, scoring a goal. Craig had the opportunity to talk to him about that post game, so let's hear what he had.
You can probably see a little bit on the celly there. That felt pretty good. It's been too long since the last one, so just kind of opened things up for me, to be honest.
That's got to feel good for you, so.
Yeah, I can you imagine though for not playing for so long, the nerves and the nerve level you must have going into today's game.
Yeah,
like you feel like you can't make a mistake, and when you're trying that desperately not to make a mistake, you naturally make mistakes.
Yeah. So
I thought he looked smooth today. I thought he skated well. I think this was a huge step for him, and he's going to have to pick up the load if Stetcher's out for this long.
Yeah, for sure. So looking forward to reading Craig's note on him tomorrow and his neutral zone. That'll be up at gophnx.com. Make sure you check that out. If you've never even been on gophnx.com, go peruse.
Check it out.
Go peruse the website, and while you're there, become a diehard, because you get so much stuff, access to our Discord, diehard only content, 20% off merch, 20% off events, exclusive diehard only merch as well. And there's a zip up, which is perfect for the weather we've been having right now here in Arizona.
Yes. With Leighton.
And for those of you who live outside Arizona and it's cold a lot longer, make sure you go get that zip up. It's great. So many perks to becoming a diehard. Petey, Any other notes on this game, things that we haven't talked about?
No, I'm just really impressed with them after they stumbled in the last homestand and a little bit on the road that they've been able to put it together in these last 2 games. And I think this was the most complete game they've played in a while. It gives them a little bit of confidence going into the road, even with a tattered lineup a little bit. Schmaltz out, Hayton out, Stetcher out, and who knows where Dumba is. I think they've got a little bit of confidence, and it really starts with their goaltender, Connor Ingram.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I think we finished a line on the punch card, right, Danielle?
We did finish the line
Wow.
on the punch card.
All right, let's take a look. You know what? They redeemed it a little on this
It's
line.
better. Yeah, because it was
Things
starting
were
off
not
as a
looking
disaster.
Wow. 1, 2, 3, 5 lines down.
5, that's incredible. Thank you.
45 games down. Oh boy. All right. It looks like halfway now. It
Yeah.
really does. So
Yeah, it's impressive.
another line on the punch card complete. You absolutely love to see it. You know what I love to see?
I have no idea.
A Circle K in the distance when my gas gauge says I have 3 miles till I run out of
Or
gas.
when you're at a quarter tank, like
No.
me. That's when I start looking
I gotta
for my
say,
Circle
last
K.
week I was
Don't tell me.
I was
Again?
so I get off the highway and it says I have 3 miles and I was thinking
Are you out of your mind? Like, are you serious?
yeah,
That's a true thing.
I sent you a photo. I sent it in Discord. There's receipts. And I was like at the light off the exit. I pull up my phone really quick and I look and there is a Circle K like right off the exit. And of course there is because there's Circle Ks everywhere. And I was so glad. And you know what? When you're part of the inner circle, let me just explain how simple it is. You go up to the pump. It says, "What's your phone number?" You type it in. It goes,
Boom.
"Here's your discount." Like you don't have to scan anything. You don't
Nothing.
have to sign. Like
Nope.
just what's your phone number? Got it.
Boom.
It's that easy. So Circle K comes in clutch when I need it most. They're everywhere.
When was that?
Last
Yesterday?
week. And
I had 70 miles left today when I left the ice den 70 miles when I left the ice den this morning.
did you get gas?
Circle K. On the way between
3
ice den and my
miles
home.
last week, and I
Between
got
the ice den and
gas.
my home, I went from 3 bars to 2. That's not the light. That's not the ding. And it was Circle K time.
You know,
on
Circle K
Scottsdale
time,
Road.
whenever you want it to be, but just know that the inner circle is there for you. Get discounts on gas, get
3
discounts
miles
on
left.
snacks and drinks as well. Join this inner circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit circlek.com for details.
Leah and I were running on empty the same day.
Yeah.
We both did that.
Well, you know where you won't run empty, Danielle? Some Burros. Some Burros is
That's
family owned and
true.
operated and was voted Arizona's most loved Mexican restaurant. Try their popular Fiesta platter loaded with mouthwatering red and green chili beef mini chimmies, homemade taquitos, chips, guac, and their famous hot sauce. With locations throughout the valley and Flagstaff, you'll never be far from delicious, time-tested Sonoran-style recipes lovingly prepared since my high school graduation in 1986. Come check out their newest location in Goodyear, Peoria, and on the I-17 in Jomax. Or you can visit someburros.com to find one near you. Let Some Burros cater your next meal, big or small. And that's easy, by the way. Get someone to cater for you. Don't cook. Cater it from Some Burros. Order online or find one near you by visiting someburros.com.
Some Burros dropped off lunch today.
They did.
At the PHNX studios.
They did. It was very popular.
So thank
And
you. Some
during the
Burros.
basketball game, I'm pretty sure the PHNX Suns crew went up for not just seconds, but third and fourth.
By the way, great night here in the office.
It was a good night.
We
for
were getting
PHNX
concerned because the last time the Suns came
CWP,
from behind,
Some Burros.
the last time the Suns came from behind and won, it was at the expense of the Coyotes.
It's
This
true.
time,
We
both
blame
teams managed to pull it off, and the vibes were immaculate here.
Yeah, it was good. It's good. It's good winning, and the Valley. Hey, it's only getting better. The Suns are there, but the Coyotes. Who would have thought at the trade deadline we'd be talking playoffs? Not me. Not me.
Certainly not me. Oh man. Well, what a game! What a night! And by the way, if you want to experience what it's like to watch basketball with the PHNX Suns crew, and I promise you, it's entertaining as hell. Come to the putting party this Wednesday, January 24th, 6:30 p.m. Watch the Suns take on the Mavericks with the PHNX Suns crew, with fellow diehards, and get unlimited beer and wine while you're there. And if you want to putt, you definitely can.
You can.
That's
but
unlimited too. But
if you don't,
watch
sit
basketball
with Flex.
Yeah.
If you can sit between Flex and Saul, that's an experience because they have fun watching basketball.
They do.
They do.
They do.
They enjoy their basketball.
So come by.
And I do appreciate the chat.
They're agreeing with you.
Joel, thank you. Everybody's saying Caleb's like he's getting anxiety over your gas tank, and Joel's like, Joel, 2 diehards, by the way, telling us how to do things right. Thank you, guys.
Wow. Can I just mark the time of Petey agreeing with Caleb?
Yeah, that's true. I can't believe that.
That is shocking.
It was true.
That might never happen again. Anyway, that's it for us tonight. We're 3 likes away from 100. Can we get it done before we sign off? Everybody, thank you. Make sure you're subscribed to PHNX Sports on YouTube so you don't miss when we go live and you don't miss all of our extra content as well. And make sure, as we already mentioned, that you are subscribed wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, or wherever else. I don't know. There's some people who have others. I don't know. But we're there. I promise you. And make sure you check out the episode with Ed Jomanowski tomorrow. Yeah.
But Shelby says, do I warm my car up? It depends. Like, I cool it off in the summer. But yes, I remote start it from everywhere in the summer because I'm not going to get into a hot car. And yes, I do start my engine to warm up the fuel and the oil before I drive away. You drive your car for about 60 seconds. Let it warm up.
We hit 100 likes. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Shelby. Appreciate you.
We appreciate all of you, sincerely. This was a lot of fun. It's always fun to talk about a Coyotes win, and especially one against a team that they struggle to win against historically. Yeah. They get it done. Win. Mullet Magic is alive and well. We got to see the Mullet Magician 2 nights in a row. So
that's probably enough for a minute.
I mean, they're going on the road, and then it's the All-Star break. So
maybe he can practice.
He can practice.
He needs to practice. I hope he's listening because he needs to practice. That was pretty sus. I don't know. I'm not thrilled with that last performance.
Audio episode tomorrow, and then we have a ton more post games this week because that Coyotes play 80 times this week. Wednesday night, Thursday night, Saturday night, and then we'll have a 2 p.m. live show on Friday. So jam-packed week for the rest of the week, but we look forward to seeing everybody here or in the Discord. Enjoy the rest of your Monday night, everybody, and we will catch you all tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.